the opportunity to the Senate Committee. The CPSU represents people working at the Department of Veterans Affairs. The work they do helps those who've put their lives on the line for our country, often at significant personal cost. Our veterans deserve the best support and assistance, and that requires a well-resourced and staffed agency. Unfortunately, that is not what's happening. The government is still not providing veterans with the support they need. Privatisation through the form of labour hire and outsourcing has reduced the department's ability to administer services that veterans rely on and meet its basic legislative requirements. This privatisation extends beyond basic functions or simpler functions like claims processing to more complicated areas such as complex case management, and even attempts to fully privatise open arms. Indeed, in the Department of Veterans Affairs, we've seen a perfect storm, increasing case numbers and clients at the same time as a staffing freeze and then a staffing cap has limited the ability of the department to staff to the level that is required. Since 2013, we've seen DVA client numbers grow. Ongoing staff fall by 379 and an explosion in the use of labour hire arrangements, at the same time as a significant increase in claims, caseloads and backlogs. The current 323,000 clients is significantly above previous forecasts of 250,000. With 700,000 veterans in the community, and as a result of the veteran-centric reforms, greater emphasis and support for veterans to make claims, which is obviously the right thing to do, it's no surprise that workloads and caseloads are ever increasing. DVA reports that the Military Rehabilitation and Compensation Act liability claims have more than trebled in the past 3 years, and permanent impairment claims have doubled over that same period. Staff struggle to manage these increasing caseloads. Most staff are expected to manage at least 130 claims, the average being 130 to 160, well above safe caseload levels assessed by workplace health and safety reps as between 70 and 80. The impact of high caseloads and inadequate staffing, it therefore comes as no surprise that over 4,300 initial liability claims are older than a year are yet to be processed. Even then, once a claim is determined, some veterans are waiting up to 5 months to access payments due to backlogs and understaffing. In June 2020, last year, there were 44,350 unprocessed claims. By the end of the year, there were nearly 50,000 unprocessed claims. And processing times have also blown out. The legislation commits to a 90-day processing timeframe, but initial liability claims are sitting at an average of 178 and permanent impairment claims at an average of 186 days. These delays and backlogs directly impact the mental health of veterans. Instead of providing the permanent staff required to meet ever-increasing workloads, there's been a reliance on labour hire. Before 2013, labour hire was only used for short-term projects lasting often less than 3 months. The most recent data from April this year indicates there are over 1,000 labour hire workers engaged with the department, which is about 40% of the entire workforce. This blended workforce mix is largely driven by the government's position on the ASL staffing cap. And the use of labour hire, this comes despite it costing more than APS staff. DVA admitted in March this year that labour hire can cost 15 to 20% more on average than permanent staff. The blended workforce model has been disastrous for veterans who face long wait times to have compensation claims allocated and processed. The high workloads combined with the lack of job security for labour hire staff result in a revolving door with high turnover, loss of corporate knowledge, and lots of resources being deployed to train new incoming labour hire staff. While the agency's average staffing level allocation was increased in the recent budget, only half were additional staff. The rest converted from labour hire arrangements to non-ongoing fixed term. We're concerned that this transition is not enough but it doesn't provide enough resources to provide the support that veterans require. Work in the department is further hampered by ICT problems, and this is outlined in our submission. The ICT shared service arrangement with Services Australia has been proven inadequate and contributed to delays in processing claims. If we as a country genuinely care about veterans' wellbeing, which I think we of course do and should, DVA must have the capacity to engage the staff they need to support our veterans, not use this mixed privatised model that we're seeing currently in use in the department. This requires a permanently staffed agency with the resources, training and ICT infrastructure to